Hey, this is Rydo. We're going to be talking over and commenting a little bit on the Microsoft press conference. We're looking at the E3 setup. I'm going to change the text to scrolling down in the lower left. That is the schedule for E3. There was a tiny build press conference that happened, although it wasn't really a press conference. I'm going to actually pay attention more now to the Microsoft one because I think they're going to have actual things to announce. Tiny Build wasted a bunch of money to say that there's going to be a secret neighbor, I think was the name of it, Hello Neighbor Battle Royale type game. There's all the chances in the world for this press conference to really help Microsoft. I want to hear a lot about new games, maybe new IP, very little bit about new hardware, unless they're going to do a really cheap VR. I want games to actually come out. It'll be interesting to see if they talk about like Crackdown, because they've said Crackdown is delayed and confirmed that, and so now Crackdown's been delayed for like 3 years. This would be weird if this was like Ori and the Will of the Wisps being the first video we've ever seen. So it'd also be weird if this is a Halo. But it couldn't be like Monster Hunter World. And it couldn't be Dragon Scale. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. If it's supposed to be anything. We've got the hype train at the top of the screen. I'll be looking at the chat if anybody wants to say anything or tell me anything. Let's see, let's switch over to the chat now. This can't be the Division 2. This could be Halo. Yeah, I guess it could, because there was entire people and planets on the Halos, and Master Chief could just be on a different planet. There were a lot of rumors of a game called Halo Infinite, and most people brushed them off because the name sounded fake. Powered by the Slip Space engine, an engine I've not even heard of. So I think that's brand new. And last thing I want to hear is them talk for 20 minutes about some new engine.
Please welcome the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Again, I'm starting to lose confidence in the Unreal Engine 4, since it seems like a lot of developers can't use it very well, and they use their own engines to save themselves money anyways, save themselves licensing fees. We've got a lot of Xbox fans or employees in white shirts in the crowd.
On his greatest adventure yet to save humanity.
Not his last adventure.
We are now at a moment of exceptional creativity in gaming. We can't wait to show you what Creativity Unleashed looks like for you. So to all the gamers around the world.
So the question about Halo Infinite is, are they going to just conveniently ignore Halo 5, which was very poorly received?
In the Microsoft Theater. Welcome to E3 2018.
This is rather a giant,
I'd like to personally thank everyone who's
giant arena, and it seems like they've got this set up to do some kind of esports competition.
Of the proceeds from your FanFest tickets are going to Gamers Outreach.
Like,
thanks to you,
I'm really hating how it seems like each of these companies has to virtue signal
what I
and say they're a
appreciate most
good
about
company giving
Gaming
the
brings us
charity.
together. Gaming
Because they're
connects us.
literally using it only
Inspires our
to
truest
to
cooperation.
advertise themselves,
It
and I
creates
think
some of
companies
our
should just
fondest
admit that they
memories
have no
of
morals
competition
other to
and our
than
deepest
increasing
conversations
shareholder
about the
value.
stories within games.
And even if they are going to do a
Most
charity
of all,
thing,
gaming
only
fosters
talking
real
about it
community.
at
It
E3
reaches across
is
age, ability,
ridiculous.
race, gender, and geography.
Okay,
This is why I've
so
always
it's not
believed
great to
and
have
will
the
always
camera pan
believe
across
that gaming
a
is
crowd
a
of
great unifier.
mostly white
And what
dudes
unifies
when you're
us
talking
is
about
our
the gaming
shared love of
community
this art form.
is different ages, genders, and
Legendary
nationality.
characters who captivate us. Not just for 10 hours, but for 10, 20, 30
Like, if you were going to have the camera pan at that time,
stories that
they
inspire
should have
the hero
had
within us.
a group of
Iconic
very
films
diverse
that
people
are
seated
so
close
richly
together.
imagined, we feel excitement in the air and
Because,
danger on the seas.
and that's just a majority thing.
As gamers, we are at a momentous time.
The majority is going to
where
be the
creative
multitudinous,
vision and cutting-edge
and
technology
they are going to
together
be the most
are
in any
delivering
crowd.
the art form we love.
They're skipping between
For
camera
months,
angles
our teams
far
and I
too
have
often.
traveled the world, meeting
I would have
developers
much
from
preferred
Japan to Poland,
that they
from the
just
UK to the
took
Ukraine, from
most
big
of the camera
studios
shots
to single
right
developers,
in front of
creators who
Phil
seize
Spector
the
here,
full power and potential of Xbox One
instead of showing
to
the crowd.
express
We've
their
seen the
most
crowd. It's a
daring
big
vision for
crowd.
games.
Everybody's in white.
Today,
Everybody's
we've curated a
a
bold
fan,
showcase of their best
seems.
work and ours. 50 games, 18 titles with exclusivity, and 15 world premieres.
That is big numbers.
Some will be first-timers
Of
on
course,
this stage, and
the
others will be
problem is
first-timers on
some
any
of these
stage.
will be delayed,
All are imagined
and some
by
of
the
them already
industry's
have been
greatest talent.
delayed.
All demonstrate what
But
true
this is
artisans
certainly
can
what they
create.
needed to do.
Mind-blowing art,
And they probably stretched to
immersive
get
sound
a round
effects,
number like 50
breathtaking worlds.
games.
So let's jump in.
Exclusive.
Okay, I'm gonna take notes, so I need to actually have my keyboard around and so 7 minutes in. I guess at the beginning we have Halo Infinite. Correct the spelling later. 7 minutes is Ori and the Will of Wisps. There we go. Unless I'm wrong. It'd be very weird if this isn't Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I might be wrong here. Well, whatever game this is, it looks alright. Kind of has that Owlboy type look and feel to it. I wish I liked Owlboy more than I did. And the actual gameplay was a little just not as good as I wanted it to be. If this turns out to not be Ori and the Will of Wisps, I will simply hit enter and keep that because I know it's one of them. Is it Willow Wisps? It's probably Willow Wisps.
World premiere.
And they're just gonna go through these. They did this last year too, where they just are gonna go through a bunch of trailers and show you a lot of footage, and then that's kind of all they're gonna do until they take a bit of a break, and then bring out some people to talk about maybe one of those games, out of 3 or 4 trailers that they showed.
So you're awake.
This is that game.
Looks like death is not your fate.
Is
Just yet.
something Suna? Tale of Suna or something?
Some time has passed since I found you. Your master still lives.
Or
He'll
Tale of
soon make
Tsubasa?
use of his bloodline. The land you have lost will give way to something more.
I had thought this was going to be year of the
You'll learn to appreciate its
year of the
worth.
vampire 2019 would be. It's looking like it's going to be the year of the amputees, with Battlefield having a lady with a missing arm and this guy having a missing arm. Wouldn't it be nice if this was a Heavenly Sword game? Not in the style of Heavenly Sword.
Your death won't come easily.
But I don't think very many people remember Heavenly Sword enough that they'd want to do a continuation of that. It is, in general, nice that we're having more Japanese-centric and focused and Asian-centered and focused games. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. So that is
Please welcome from Bethesda Game Studios,
the
Todd
game.
Howard.
That is the game that we saw a teaser called Shadows Die Twice, I think. And so the company that teased that was, I think, the makers of the Dark Souls series, and people were thinking that was going to be Bloodborne too. So we're not going to get a Bloodborne.
Right after this, across the street, and Phil said to me, "I'm having a few friends over. Why don't you stop by?" And look, I know Phil is really, really charming, but damn, he's got a lot of friends.
This is Bethesda.
And the good news is, you're our friends too. We've had an incredible 16-year history.
So we're gonna get some
Xbox
Bethesda
going all the way back to the
releases
original
right
with
before the
Morrowind.
Bethesda show.
Now backwards compatible. And that goes all the way to bringing mods to consoles with Fallout 4.
Of course, there's now
And
rumors
now
that
we are bringing the Fallout universe
the mods
to Xbox
in
Game
the
Pass
next
with
game,
Fallout 4
Fallout.
launching today.
So Fallout 4 on the Games Pass.
And hey, since we're here, we thought we'd give all of you an exclusive world premiere first look at Fallout 76. Yes, Fallout 76 is a prequel to all the other games, and it is our biggest one yet. It is 4 times the size of Fallout 4. Set in the hills of West Virginia, you are one of the first to emerge into an untamed...
It doesn't
and very
inherently
different
say anything that Fallout 76 is 4 times as big, because those lands might be completely empty. What just caught my eye is in the background of where he was standing was one of the new Microsoft accessibility controllers. The $100 controller that then needs probably about $400 other worth of accessibility attachments to be used for severely disabled people. Which even at a total of $500 might be a much better solution than what they have now. So the rumor is that Fallout 76 is going to be kind of this online MMO
76.
survival game.
This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault Tech.
I was hoping
by you.
when I first saw the trailer that it
So
would be
that if the
more like a
bombs do
BioShock
come,
game,
Our way of
and
life
it was a
will
giant
endure.
underground vault, and you never actually went to the surface at all.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
So
Life is
theoretically, there should be nothing outside. There should be no super mutants. There should be maybe some ghouls and no human settlers at all. They're just walking past this power armor.
For when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled.
A fireman outfit? I think they're
Not
showing
just
off the
walls,
fact that you
not
have
just buildings, but hearts,
custom
minds,
costumes.
and ultimately America itself. In Vault 76, our future begins.
It kind of doesn't even make sense, because who are you fighting against? Is it just going to be random animals? If it is this online multiplayer thing, does that mean every single player comes out of the same vault? Right. This is now probably Twin Mirror. No?
It's just me, Captain Spirit. This is Chris to the Flying Fortress. Have you spotted
It's not
Snowman,
Twin
sir?
Mirror.
Not yet.
Interesting, they
Keep me
announced
posted.
a game from Don't Nod called Twin Mirror a
You're drinking beer?
couple days ago.
I always get picked last for the team at school, and they never throw the ball to me.
They can't tell stories like you can they?
No way. Start the launch. Too late! Emergency!
So this feels like this is all gonna happen in the mind of the kid, which that's probably gonna get pretty boring rather quickly.
I miss Mom's smile.
Me too.
See,
You're probably gonna change the world.
it was really weird that they made a game called Life is Strange, the Life is Strange game, which is about a teenage girl, and then you saw the director's
Awesome
commentary.
Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Um,
Download for free from June 26th.
It's free. So the awesome
Exclusive.
adventures. I wonder if this is going to come to
on deck. Welcome to
of
Crackdown
Captain
3,
Spirit.
the only game built like me. Big, beautiful, like a
Like
skyscraper.
so, like when two middle-aged Canadians
Play on my level.
uh,
Follow my lead.
were telling the Life is Strange stories of teenage girls, that was pretty odd. So it's
No building is
probably a little bit more understandable that they would tell a story of a little boy, because they at least at one time were little boys.
grab more, grow more. Nama, nama, nama. Big, bigger. Jackson! Then you need that firepower. Homing rocket gun, bullseye. Vortex cannon, see ya.
So we are getting Crackdown 3 footage.
And the most powerful weapon of all, me.
The biggest reveal would be if they said right now, it's out now, it's ready to go, it's not delayed, we lied.
Building, or even bust out my very own Ooh, yeah. Boom, shakalaka. Man, these bad guys just won't quit.
There's a slight danger of Crackdown turning into something a little too close to Borderlands 2, but I think there's enough difference there where you just wouldn't have that experience or complain about it, them being too similar. February 29th, so that is delayed.
We will take back our world from the scourge of the machine.
And this leaked also near Automata. Still waiting for a patch that I think they promised they were going to make for the PC version. But at least this explains why that patch hasn't come out if they've been spending all the time making an Xbox version. That also bodes very well for Japanese games on the Xbox One, because the Xbox One does not sell at all in Japan. And it would be nice if it had more competition in Japan, therefore more Japanese developers and publishers would release those games on the Xbox, so it has a bigger audience. What is this one called? I've named everything except for Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Even those who speak our language might be enemies, by conviction or out of fear. We will not falter.
This is something Siberia, I believe. It's a series. But I forgot the name of the series.
Let's move out, Artyom.
There's a danger of too many games set in Siberia, Russia, Eastern Bloc countries coming out too close together. And honestly, this also looks like it could be another Fallout-like game, and too many games that are first-person or third-person RPG shooter games. It's going to be a problem. There's going to be burnout. This could almost be a Resident Evil game. If they were going to set a Resident Evil in an Eastern Bloc country. Part of the problem with Western companies making characters and stories in the Eastern Bloc is you get video game voice actors doing no, this is Metro Exodus, not Siberia. Something. Knew it was part of a series. And see, they're just flooding it with trailers. Even if they're trailers of games we already knew about, or trailers we've already seen.
And its mystery of the ruins above ground.
I would have much preferred EA's press conference to have been like this. They're just moving on. We're almost to 1/4 of the way through this first hour, and we've seen a lot more, so you've probably caught the attention of somebody. Like for me, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit catches my attention a little bit as that's surprising that it just came out. Where Sekiro Shadows Die Twice and Nier Automata is good for more Japanese games on Xbox and more games on on PC, hopefully, because they're on Xbox.
Guess he's too used to the beach.
Hey, Islander, what can I say? Look,
This is very surprising.
turning to ice.
Square Enix is turning their back on the PlayStation to release what has to be Kingdom Hearts 3, because I seriously doubt that there's another Kingdom Hearts game in development.
Hello.
Unless this is some like really short experience.
Never met him. Don't know anyone blue, green, or who's oddly spiked.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 has taken so long to develop that they're adding like Disney characters from the Frozen universe and Wreck-It Ralph, which, wow. I wonder by the time a Kingdom Hearts 4 was finished, since it would probably take it forever to develop anyways, they still have that flying section. By the time I got to that point with the flying section in Kingdom Hearts 1, I'd been burnt out with the entire series.
Control it? No, all I ever do is hurt people. This is my home now. I can't go back. I don't want to hurt anyone.
Hark!
So, yeah. Really, really surprising. If Sony loses its exclusives for even 1 or 2 years, I don't. It becomes harder and harder to justify a PlayStation 5 being
Roxas does exist.
successful.
His heart's inside my
And
heart.
the PlayStation 4 was successful simply I think because Microsoft screwed things up so badly.
Well, good for you, but guess what? I won't let her fall to darkness.
At this point, for the Kingdom Hearts series, particularly since this is on a new console, there really needs to be a supercut of
This Keyblade.
Is that?
Like a supercut of all of the events before this point. Like, because I literally have no idea what the story is for Kingdom Hearts. And there's too many cutscenes, too much going on, and the gameplay is not that good, in my opinion, to actually make you want to play it. So now we're doing a second push of Sea of Thieves, which didn't really work to catch people's attention. That's not how you spell thieves. That isn't either. I'll fix that later. 2018 was going to be the year of the pirate.
You needn't cower in the
There's
doorway.
2 more pirate games that are
Actually
supposed to come
like
out this
meeting
year.
new people. Besides, the conversation with my friend here has reached a bit of an impasse. I think he just needs a moment to cool off. Now, I sense that you brought me something to inspect. Show me.
So this is just like a cutscene. This isn't actual
The
gameplay.
waves of change roll throughout the seas, and a new land is revealed. The Forsaken Shores. A place of darkness, where fire and ash consume all. And from the depths, skeleton crews will rise to curse the seas. An ancient evil set loose upon
This
the sea of
still
thieves.
feels like too little too late for Sea of Thieves.
You have delivered unto me a portent of doom most terrible.
Oh!
You just wanted to know how much it was worth, didn't you? Fine, I'll give you 10 for it.
So they're trying to do like a World of Warcraft expansion model on Sea of Thieves, and you can never out World of Warcraft. I don't think you ever would be able to. And there's nowhere as much gameplay mechanics or variety in Sea of Thieves. You're getting kind of a weird musical sound. What's this one?
Jeg har altid syntes, at landet deres var vakkert og forstyrrende. Da jeg kom hit som barn, fortalte de mig
It's on the Frostbite engine. It has to be an EA game.
Vi ved, at nogen er derude. Bare fortæl mig, hvem det er.
So this has to be Battlefield. Yeah, it's Battlefield 5. It would be really surprising if EA had left some exclusive announcement of an actual new game to either Microsoft or Sony. It makes it very questionable. It would make it questionable why they have their own press conference. Arguably, I think, though, we are getting crazy at this point, and EA shouldn't have its own press conference, and Bethesda shouldn't have its own press conference. At least in the case of Bethesda, since it's mainly a PC game anyways. This is Forza, I believe. Bethesda kind of makes sense since it's mostly a PC-focused company. First, before it is a console releasing game company, but EA is more focused around console releases than it is than PC releases. Yeah, I would prefer them to get back to just Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, and if you're going to make a console, then you get a press conference and that's it. As far as I would be concerned in E3. So like Atari, the company that purchased the name Atari, if their new console came out and was something that people actually got into, maybe they would then have a justification to have a press conference. But instead we're going the opposite direction. We've got Tiny Bill doing a joke of a press conference. We're going to have Digital Devolver doing a joke of a press conference. We're going to have Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo doing their press conferences. And Nintendo, on the other hand, really isn't even doing E3 press conferences. They're just live streaming. Thus, they don't have to pay the convention center any money to rent out a room and hold a spot. In general, I think E3 should just be
please welcome from Playground Games.
It should just be
Ralph Fulton.
Broken up and all these announcements should happen year-round at different times instead of all at the same time. So this is Forza Horizon 4.
Fantastic to be here today. I am excited to show you the world premiere of Forza Horizon 4. Set in beautiful, historic Britain. Forza Horizon 4 features dynamic seasons.
It's in beautiful, historic Britain, therefore you're driving modern cars when cars didn't exist.
Demo the game today.
And roads didn't exist?
Who is online with a few friends in the beautiful English countryside. He has chosen the incredible new McLaren Senna. And say hi to Solomon, who is hanging out with his buddies in the streets of Scotland's capital.
There's really no guarantee.
Solomon is driving the Hoonigan Ford Focus.
He's using the Microsoft Accessibility controller.
It's perfect for taking jumps, scaling rocky terrain, and having fun on the coastline.
There's no guarantee that the Xbox consoles on top of there are really running this game. For all you know, these TVs are hooked up to just computers playing video, and nobody's playing anything.
Forza Horizon 4's Britain is a shared open world. When you play, you play with the entire community. And that means the other drivers you'll meet
So
in the game
you're
will
going
be real
to,
people
in a
with
racing
all the
game, run
variety,
into tons of
spontaneity, and
bad
fun
drivers
that
and
real
griefers.
people bring. Let's join
In
Bill.
Britain, which assumes that's not including England, that, well, that is including England. I guess Britain includes all of it, doesn't it? Like, I'd have to look that up. Let's do a little fact checking. What part of Britain is Britain? Does that include North Wales and everything in that general area?
In Horizon 4,
and I know Britain is different than the British Empire.
with each bringing its own unique beauty and unique gameplay. One of the great things about this shared world is that it's easy to interact.
Great Britain and
with the
Ireland.
people
Britain
you meet.
may also refer to.
Here, Solomon and Rebecca use the new quick
Britain
chat
usually
feature on the
refers to the
D-pad
United
to start a
Kingdom,
new
the sovereign
friendship.
state.
It looks like Rebecca has found some like-minded friends.
So, let's say if it's Great Britain, it's the island in the North Atlantic Ocean off the northeast coast of the continental Europe. Britain is the largest of the British Isles.
Are dynamic, but they are synchronized for every player, so the entire community.
The island of Ireland is situated west of it. So, like, Ireland might not be included.
Now, as much as we'd all love to sit and watch the sun go down together, let's see
Whereas
how
the
this
United
league
Kingdom
looks in winter.
would be, like, let's see.
The entire open world changes beyond recognition. In winter, the lake has frozen
UK
solid,
includes the
and
islands of Great
previously
Britain,
inaccessible areas can be reached.
the northeast
The
part
trees
of the
which
island
already
of
lost their leaves
Ireland,
have snow and ice
and
covered
many
the
smaller
terrain.
islands.
The visuals and the driving experience
North Island is the
couldn't
only part of
be
the
more
United
different.
Kingdom that shares a land
And
border
now a
with
blimp
another
has appeared over the ice
sovereign
to
state,
signal
the
the
Republic
start
of
a
Ireland.
new world event. Sportsathon Live invites
I guess
the
that
entire
also goes to
community
show
come
I
together
could
and
not care
cooperate
less about
with
this
big
Forza
rewards.
game. I wouldn't
while
really
they
want
head
to play an
off to the
online
event, I'd like to
racing
show you
game
how the world of
that's an
Forza Horizon
open world
4
game and
looks
doesn't have
in
any real
spring.
structure. It's kind of odd that the guy's playing with the
Once again, the world
accessibility
changes
controller and
completely
they're,
with the seasons,
they're not
bringing
making
new
a big
driving
deal
experiences,
about that. I bet they
new
talk about
gameplay,
that right
and new
after this.
events across the whole world. Every season, there are new reasons to play Forza Horizon 4, and the
So it's a
huge
games
creative,
as service
fun-loving
idea.
Horizon community will be there to enjoy them with you.
And take note that Forza Horizon 4 is the only game here that's been shown any real gameplay or given any real time.
On Horizon,
Everything else has just been going, given like a minute or two. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 got 3 minutes. Most of these trailers are barely getting a minute.
Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 on October 2nd, and I am thrilled to announce that it will be included in Xbox Game Pass on the same day. Thank you so much.
Let's see.
Please welcome
Seems
back
like
Phil
now the Games Pass gives you all the games that you are coming out for Microsoft anyways.
We know that exclusive games from our Microsoft studios are what originally turned so many of us.
The Games Pass is probably a better thought to turn games as a service than to try to have a Hitman-like game like in Forza Horizon where they're just always adding races and content.
And for you to have the best
That's a lot of promise that you'd have to put faith into.
This is why we're increasing our investment in our existing franchises that you already love. And this is why we are amplifying our investment in new worlds that will deepen your love for gaming on Xbox. We embarked on a quest to find creative
Here's an
teams
interesting question. Is PUBG and Fortnite both on Xbox One?
Innovative game designers, master storytellers.
What was that that just fell in front of the camera? Some
And now,
piece of glitter or something.
I'm proud to introduce the creation of a brand new Microsoft studio.
New
The
Microsoft
Initiative.
Studio.
Led by Daryl Gallagher, a visionary storyteller who has worked across some
Microsoft
of the most iconic
opening
franchises
studios
for
is
over 20
nothing
years.
because Microsoft shuts
This
down
new
and
Santa
fires
Monica
people
studio
pretty
is building a
frequently.
team of world-class talent to create groundbreaking new game
The
experiences.
more important question here
And next,
is that
I'm excited to welcome
is
Undead Labs
where
to
is
Microsoft
that?
Studios.
Where is that studio going to be?
This studio
Because
caught
if
our
it's in
attention
Canada,
with
if
their
it's in
visionary
Europe,
approach
then
to
you
building
can
a
get an
zombie
idea of
survival franchise.
what studio
They just
recently shut
released their
down that
second
they hired those
infestation
people from.
into the world. And in the first 2 weeks, over 2 million of you
And I've
have
never
joined the
heard of
fight to
Undead
survive.
Labs.
Now,
Is that
it's my distinct pleasure to announce that we
Decay-
have acquired
State of Decay?
Playground Games. This is one of the highest rated studios of this generation.
also?
Celebrated for their
Don't know who
incredible
Playground Games is.
Not only will Playground Games continue to work on Forza Horizon, they're bringing their open world expertise to an entirely new project. We can't wait to share more about that later.
So I'm just gonna put
And for the fourth
New
new studio, it's my
studios
personal honor to welcome
and
Ninja Theory
acquisition.
to Microsoft Studios.
That's interesting
I met Nina
and weird.
when we collaborated on Kung Fu Chaos back
Did
on the original Xbox.
I guess Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice did not make enough money
You're in the hands
to
of
keep them
master
independent.
storytellers who are fearless about telling bold cinematic stories. This is a team gifted in creating new franchises.
Like,
And
are they
yes,
gonna?
We've got a fifth studio to
Are they
announce.
gonna continue to make
Compulsion Games.
double
2
other
years
games?
ago, we premiered a game we couldn't get out of our heads.
So now the company that owns We Happy Few,
And intense
well, We Happy Few probably won't be released in
Happy
Australia.
is nearing its full release to gamers everywhere.
Except Australia.
So please help me in welcoming all
Because
of our new
Australia
studios.
refuses to rate it because it has drug use as a reward.
By joining us at Microsoft Studios, these 5 new teams will have the resources.
I really don't
the
think
platform,
too much of them getting Compulsion Games, but I'm very surprised about
create even bolder worlds
Ninja
for
Theory. Like,
Truth is the enemy of happiness.
is Ninja Theory going to continue to make games like Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice, or are they going to try to make something like Final Fantasy 15? Gearbox is still publishing this We Happy Few.
Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
I think We Happy Few would be more interesting if they did a prequel story to explain how they got to this point, instead of a fully
Also,
developed.
we're practically the only 2 people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry? You've gone too far this time.
You're seeing a lot more story here, considering that We Happy Few is just
People won't face facts.
from what we saw, open world survival game that was randomly generated or somewhat
And when we
randomly
do that,
generated.
They'll murder each other in the street.
But see, that's the problem with this trailer, is it still probably is mostly a randomly generated survival game unless they've drastically changed it before the release. And so this trailer is kind of lying. And Gearbox Publishing, Gearbox in general has been known to be more dishonest than most in their trailers and their advertisement of games. I'm thinking Aliens, Colonial Marines, and the lawsuit there. This has got to be PUBG. The thing to take from this, though, is Microsoft has really dropped the ball on having games in development and ready for release when their main Crackdown game is 3 years delayed, and they're having to buy other studios to try to make up for that, to have more games in development and have a lineup for next year and the year after that and the year after that and probably even the year after that. Let's see.
World premiere.
We're 45 minutes into the stream. At no point have we had a real lull, unlike the EA game. Is this the new Tales of Berseria? Another Japanese game. When this feels like a fully new thing. Tales of Vesperia, Definitive Edition. So, 47. Tales of Vesperia. Edition. And this is a straight up anime JRPG game, as they are or were for a while. Now, this is still kind of going more closer to an 80s fantasy anime style compared to what is anime right now, which is it's a lot more small moe girls, young looking moe girls. Of course, that would be an amazing surprise if they said, "Hey, we've got Honey Pop and a bunch of adult-oriented visual novels coming to the Xbox One." Honey Pop actually isn't a visual novel.
Washington, D.C.
It's close.
The most heavily protected city on Earth.
Let's see.
Within its limits, 177 foreign embassies,
The Division
550
2.
elected officials, and 23,000 military personnel. In the event of an attack, critical personnel are evacuated, underground shelters open, while complex defense systems patrol the sky.
But nothing stopped the virus. 27 days after Patient Zero, Washington fell. It began with riots on K Street, then shootings in the National Mall. Troops withdrew to bunkers, civilians.
So it seems like instead of being set in New York,
is on the brink of collapse.
The Division 2 is going to be in Washington, D.C.
Rooftops, their fences patrolled with rifles, in communities that live under constant siege. Survival has taken the form of urban warfare.
Centuries ago, on this very soil,
This doesn't feel
brother
like The
fought brother,
Division.
spilling blood to forge the United States.
This doesn't feel like
History
The
is
Division
threatening to
2.
repeat itself.
Now,
Feels like something
in the heat
different.
of summer, 6 months after the outbreak began, a remnant of a corrupt state lurks in the shadows, ready to engage in a new civil war.
Agents of the Division are the only ones.
Nope, it
standing
is the
against it.
Division.
But how do you save a nation when its enemies come from within?
That trailer really is literally no indication of actual gameplay, and frankly the Division was not really something that feels like it could hold up to that story that was being told in that trailer. Let's see.
Matt, that
You
crash
have
site is just ahead.
a Ubisoft game from Massive Entertainment. I haven't heard of this. I've not seen any rumor of this.
Duke, Kit, did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Closer this time.
I don't know the name Duke or Kit. This doesn't feel like it's going to be an Army of Two sequel or something like that. This must be new IP. Which would be weird because we're 50 minutes in and I don't think we've seen much new IP. Let's see. Except for that Don't Nod game and Secure Shadows Died Twice. Everything else we've already heard about.
So you guys are coming or what? Yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas. Here's the door.
Another game that runs the danger of looking just like a bland first-person shooter.
Right, let me just talk to
with
this guy.
a bunch of RPG mechanics. There's gonna be too many of these. These need to be spaced out over the next 3 years.
Okay, meet us at the sinkhole? Yep.
Like,
Okay, sure.
if all of these come out in 1 year, that's gonna be a problem.
Wow. Okay.
This could be some kind. It's not from Dying Light though. It's from Massive Entertainment, so it's not a zombie game.
Yeah.
That would interest
Okay,
me.
do it after the crash site? Sounds good. They're just ahead of us, Matt.
It sounds like somebody's gonna talk you through this and the entire first level. One hopes that you don't get that level of talking to you throughout the whole
We gotta
game.
get you leveled up.
I know. Please help. I've been busy.
Toxic chemical residue detected.
A lot of loot down there.
Hey, you guys should really check this out. Almost there.
Is this some kind of asymmetric gameplay where one of the voices is just looking at a map and telling you where to go?
Crap, they have a tank. Yep, I see him.
Don't aggro him yet.
Let me adjust my build.
Got my crossbow and chem launcher.
Yeah, all of this is banter happening between gamers, not the characters in the
I'll
game.
take that sniper on top. Wait for it.
And you know what this really looks like is it's the multiplayer version of Tomb Raider without Tomb Raider in it.
Matt, look out. Alright, let me try
It's
to get
the
that tank off you.
I bet the Frostbite
More bad
engine
guys on the other side of the plane.
from or whatever Ubisoft uses.
Matt, I need your help. Over here.
And so
Seeker mine.
this almost seems like a game where you wouldn't be able to play in single player at all.
Use a little help. Thanks, Matt. Oh, there's a dude rushing through the plane. Guys.
Yep, I'll see what I can do. Got him. I'm down.
Yeah, hang on, I'll get you. I'll cover you guys.
Come on, come on.
So we just for a second there heard the audio of the actual game talk.
Get that weak point.
Oh crap, Matt, watch out.
So this pre-scripted garbage multiplayer banter stuff that you would, like, you'd never actually have a team that talks this much and this relevantly.
Map of the hive, nice.
Alright, just lay it on him.
Again?
Drum down.
Now there goes his armor.
Ah. You're on your own.
Keep going.
This is people versus people, it seems.
Level up. Level 30.
Oh, sweet. Congrats.
Alright, flare is up. Control point is ours. Nice. Guys wanna check out the plane? Let's go.
Analyzing ballistic residue.
Looks like a rough landing.
Like they're writing in jokes.
Jesus. Whoa, that's nuts.
The little orange circle.
Great idea. Let's just die.
Is this as a second division game? I don't think so.
Take the capital back. I think we're ready.
Is the skin of the two characters in the middle the exact same person? Or is it just very generic? So that's the Division 2. Okay, whatever.
The head of
Still not interested in playing the Division 2. So the Division 2 got, let's see, nearly 10 minutes. I'd say about 8 minutes of footage. And Division 1 didn't succeed that well.
Time for gamers. We've never had so many incredible games to play. Storied franchises, uncharted worlds, new releases, and cult classics. Genres we love, and genres we'd love to explore. There's only one
For the most part,
problem.
Phil Spencer has
Too
been the only
often we're
person
forced to
that's been
choose
on stage
one
and
amazing
talking.
game over another.
So,
So we set out to solve that
like,
problem.
they
And to answer
had
the
one
question,
other guy talk
what if you
about
didn't
one
have to
game.
choose? What if
So
you could
it's
play them
definitely
all?
fair enough
The
to
answer?
put a second
Xbox
person
Game Pass. A way to
on
give
the stage
gamers
and have
the
them
ultimate
memorize
freedom to
the
play.
other half of the state
And your
of the
response
speech,
has blown
or
us away.
at least
Not only are
read
you
from a
playing more
teleprompter the
games,
other
you are spending
half
more time
another
gaming.
speech.
Freedom of choice is leading to more
So if this was
discovery,
going to be an hour-long
more play,
presentation,
and more
which
fun.
I don't think it
And we
is,
couldn't be more inspired
we've
to
got
keep
like 3
building and
minutes.
unlocking more for you. So
And
for the
fair
last
enough
year,
that they
we've been
put
working
a
on how to give you
female
faster access to all these
employee
games.
who's
We
actually in
leveraged the
charge
machine
on
learning
stage.
expertise we have at Microsoft and invented a way to start your games twice as fast. And naturally, we're calling it Fast Start. Unlike the current Ready to Start system, which is manually configured, Fast Start uses machine learning techniques based on how gamers actually play games.
This
And
is crazy.
Fast Start is designed to get better as the algorithms and parameters are refined over time.
They're using algorithms
I'm pleased
to
to announce
stream
that Fast
data.
Start will launch for select titles in the June update coming later this month.
The Ready to Start system was abused by developers. So unless they put in some new systems to stop
Ultimately,
developers from abusing that system,
to the games.
it's
We'll
not going to
deliver
accomplish its
iconic
goal.
favorites like Halo, the Master Chief Collection.
The biggest issue
and
here
later
is
this
the
year,
day one patches. So unless
plan to
unless they're
all new
by
exclusive
default
games for
installing
Microsoft
patches to
Studios,
games you don't
including
even own,
Forza Horizon
they don't
4,
even know if you own.
Crackdown 3, and more.
I don't know how you speed that
Xbox
up
Game Pass
too much.
catalog on the same
Like
day
the
as
install of a game could be sped up too. Like they could just burn out everybody's hard drive and say, this is the new game that most people are going to play. Let's, in an update, a system update, install games in the back secretly.
Warhammer Vermintide 2, After Party, and Phoenix Point. All available on Xbox Game Pass the
Like,
same day as the
I wouldn't be super upset if Microsoft installed Halo Infinite on everybody's Xbox One
that's what's
before the game was released, and then
Let's talk about what's happening
and then you just
today.
had to install the last exe executable or a
Tom
license.
Clancy's The Division.
So the Games Pass is adding Tom Clancy's The Division, which isn't
The Elder Scrolls
that
Online
interesting.
Tamriel Unlimited.
It's just old games. These are old games. Adding the Game Pass.
Fallout 4.
Let's see.
All enhanced for Xbox One X in gorgeous 4K, and all of them playable today in Xbox Game Pass.
So they certainly seem to be happy with the system of just getting people to pay for the Games Pass instead of trying to get people to purchase games the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Outer Wilds, After Party, Kingdom, 2 Crowns, the Golf Club 2019, featuring something, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Fringe Wars. I'm not even gonna try and write these down below. Conqueror's Blade. And see, this will be the games they're they're just trying to Raji, that's the Indian game made by an Indian development team. Super Meat Boy Forever, Planet Alpha, Islands of 9. So this is how they get to 50 games. Sable, Harold Halibut, that's a point-and-click adventure game. A lot of these are on PC. Bomber Crew. Somebody told me to play Bomber Crew. One of my fans did like a year ago. Children of Morta. I can't even read that. The Wild Road. Wargrove. That looks like a DS port. Generation 0. So yeah, you can get Dead Cells. You can get to 50 if you just get a lot of indie developers. Ashen or Ashwin. Like, yeah, if you just get a bunch of the great indie games that have been coming out on Steam for a while, you can.
I thought I knew why I came here.
You can.
I saw it. The end. It was so vivid. But now
Certainly.
the truth feels further away than ever. I still have so many questions.
Fill up your list. I'm gonna have such a long list of games to put on the recap.
We can't let Trinity get hold of this.
Let's think this through.
Do you realize the tragedy you have unleashed? The cleansing has begun. It falls to me now to stop it before it consumes us all.
What have I done?
So Tomb Raider 2 had a story about a prophet. It was kind of like the underlying text was that Jesus didn't die, or did die and resurrected himself, and then went to Siberia or an Eastern Bloc country and hid there and lived for a very long time, if not was still alive. So I don't know if this third Tomb Raider game, since it's following the Trinity evil bad guy section, if it's continuing down the Christian religion root stories.
You need to trust me.
We have to trust each other.
I think it probably is. This Tomb Raider is, as I'm saying it here, is more story oriented, more running and gunning oriented, as the reboot of the series has
wants
been.
to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power, what would you do?
They are certainly trying to imply that this is going to make her the war-hardened, battle-hardened Tomb Raider that we kind of never saw in the original Tomb Raider series. Like, I don't think she ever got that rough. Content I did on the Eminem stuff, but and I assume that is it. It's just called Season. So are they getting away from Skate as a name?
Exclusive.
They say you only live once. I beg to differ. I was born 3 times, and I've met death 3 times. My first home was Altanova. The curiosity I gained there cost me my first life.
Assume this is Vermintide.
Village of the Sorcerers. I once thought that this would be my true home. Everything changed when I started to ask the forbidden questions.
Either this is Vermintide or this is a Dragon Age
Is the true nature of the
or
Black
something
Stone?
else. Could be Fable.
What lies beneath the vast desert?
Fable loves to do 3-act
Who was it
stories.
that was calling me from the depths beyond the desert? The world never paid heed to such questions.
If this is what Fable looks like now, that'd be
Blinded and
a bit of a shift graphically.
It is time that I, at long last, reveal the hidden secrets once and for all.
This could be just a Japanese, like, action game. Maybe even a Chinese or Korean action game.
Come to me if you dare
RPG.
to learn your true wretched self. Behold, I am Elezra, the darkness born from the desert.
Yeah, Black Desert. Interesting. But not Black Desert Online.
World premiere.
I think Black Desert Online is a Korean MMO.
We've known each other a long time.
This looks like a Resident Evil game.
You never had this much trouble.
Or a Bayonetta game.
Do this?
Capcom. It's a Resident Evil game, it's gotta be. Nope. Sorry, Devil May Cry. It's the new Devil May Cry, though.
Hey, honey. Need assistance?
It's a new Devil May Cry.
You have to hit every single bump in the road?
It's not DMC. But it looks like it is the character from DMC. Interesting choices.
Cheer up, crew cut.
This is not the Dante I think we've seen before.
Yeah,
pro at smacking demons around. That's why I built him that well-functioning arm. To kick demon ass.
Well, I don't think his arm got cut off at the end of DMC.
No chit-chat or monologue? Just getting right to the point, huh?
So what would be interesting is if we saw the text that appeared on the screen a lot in DMC in this.
My brilliant badass work is worth every dime, you know it. Cash first.
This has to be a continuation of that storyline, though, or it's at least a continuation of that attitude.
I've got a score to settle with that son of a bitch.
Devil May Cry.
They're calling it Devil May Cry 5, but it sure feels like DMC 2. Unless there's something, since I haven't played Devil May Cry's original series, only DMC, maybe this is where you get left off in the story from Devil May Cry 4. I don't think so. Maybe. Certainly the animation and graphics looks like DMC a lot more than DMC than Devil May Cry 4.
Thank you so much. DMC is back. English is hard. Matt, you do it.
Of course.
Nice to get a Japanese guy out there, even if he can't really talk English.
Fans have been asking for a true sequel ever since. So this is our response, loud and clear, that we hear you. Devil May Cry and Hideaki Itsuno are back. Early on in the development of Devil May Cry 5, we set our sights on creating something that was going to have world-class visuals.
This is an interesting choice.
Models for all of our main characters.
I really want to hear what they have to say about
able
this.
To render them as realistically as possible. Now, while visuals are really important, the controls need to remain tight and responsive as well. So we've gathered the best minds at Capcom to ensure that we can still deliver that amazing gameplay that Devil May Cry is known for. And we think that we've made something that feels better than any action game we've
I'm gonna look up
created.
the story for DMC4.
すべてのファンの皆様のために
That's what I figured he'd start speaking in Japanese.
期待してもらって大丈夫です。よろしくお願いします。
Itsuno-san says that he is convinced that this is the best game that he's ever made because we made it for you, our fans. And we hope you look forward to seeing more.
Have a great E3!
Exclusive.
So, Cuphead. Is there going to be anything added to Cuphead? A new playable character, and new bosses, and new weapons and new charms. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I kind of hope that comes to PC.
Exclusive.
So I'm gonna have to type in Cuphead with new content. That's a Zelda-esque music? So Devil May Cry 4 takes place before the events of Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening. So... So... This kind of looks like a Bastion game. I'm not even really paying attention to it. So I'm gonna have to look at the story of Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening. So that's Tunic. Really surprising they have so much to show. We're now 15 minutes over an hour.
In a big world is a prime example of the reach of gaming today. A labor of love conceived and created by a single developer in Halifax, Nova Scotia is today commanding gaming's largest stage. Whether you're sharing the adventure of a tiny fox with more than 20 million viewers on Mixer, or teaming up with Xbox Live friends to slay zombies, gaming is an incredible community. We've always believed that building community is vital for gaming. There's real power in our shared experience. Sharing the same
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything for Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening also that says he lost his arm, so it seems like at the start of the game you're going to have your arm cut off.
Is the reason why we love premiering games here at E3. For the rest of our briefing, everything you show you will be world premiere games no one has seen before.
So for the rest of like maybe 44 minutes, everything is brand new.
At Bandai Namco.
So I'm gonna probably be typing like crazy.
Team showed me a sneak peek at their next game. Now you get to see the first look.
I'm running out of... I started this stream with 2 large mugs of water.
Separate from our own.
And I'm out of water.
Where the impossible
It did have
is
ice in them,
reality.
though.
They consist of both good
This kind of looks like Borderlands.
and evil.
But no, this is a Dragon Ball Fighters.
To meet. But things have
This is
changed.
Dragon Ball something.
Now they have begun to merge as one. And our last hope are the heroes.
It's not
we
just
could
Dragon
only
Ball.
imagine.
It's gotta be...
To fight for our survival.
It's gotta be something versus Shonen Jump. Because those are all Shonen Jump titles that have been published in Shonen Jump as mangas. And that this clearly it's got to be a fighter game. You're not going to play a large. And this trailer is pretty focused on the Shonen Jumps things that people know in the West too, because I'm not seeing any One Piece a little bit. Yeah, but Luffy's there. Most people know all the Shonen Jump things if you know anime. There's Luffy. There's Naruto. There's Goku.
Jump Force.
So it's just called Jump Force. So I'm gonna put in. You're gonna bring in Light Yagami from Death Note. Let's see. What was it?
World premiere.
Force. What was it? Something to fight. I didn't catch it. This looks like a VR game.
It's been 15 years since the fall. The city is a corpse, and we are the world.
This is
We burrow in it,
maybe Atomic Heart.
fighting for every useful piece of land to preserve ourselves from the terrors of the night and the horrors of the day.
I know not who can hear my voice. I shall
this is a rather good lineup. At least to hype people in general on about Xbox. Like, if anything was gonna get you to buy an Xbox One or an Xbox One X, having this many games with at least a decent variety here is certainly going to push you in that direction. Now, we haven't seen any like parkour, platformer, running, jumping, nothing 2.5D. We have seen a lot of Japanese games, which is nice, but for the most part, it has been first-person perspective shooter games, and so Dying Light, which is a game already on PC. They're just going to keep on bringing PC games, I'm sure. That stage is too long. Why didn't they have him walk out on stage first?
To be working with Techland to create the world of Dying Light 2.
I guess they didn't want to spoil the surprise.
Everything you'd expect from a bold sequel to the first game.
Why not have him hide under the stage and like come out from under the stage and then go up the stairs and get on the stage instead of walking from the back?
Emerge from the depths of the city to feed on anyone they can find. At the same time, we invite you to
it's Dying Light 2. It's not Dying Light 1.
Reality that we call the modern Dark Ages.
They just recently stopped making add-ons for Dying Light. They supported that game really, really well.
Dying Light 2 will be
I want to get around to playing it.
Where your choices have genuine consequences in the game itself. From how it looks, how it plays, to the events that occur, everything in the game world can change based on your decisions. The following demo throws a bit more light on this.
There's always a question in presentations like this. Here's some parkour. Because Dying Light certainly does have that parkour movement to it. Should the presenters of these presentations come out in suits, like maybe not coat and tails type things, but should they be something more than just a t-shirt and jeans? Try to class it up and act a little bit more professional. I mean, these presentations are the weddings, the funerals that these companies will ever have. They are the most formal event.
One way or another. After this, you will start seeing a significant change in the city as access to the water supply allowed the peacekeepers to bring stability and develop the area. There's even running water for the people at street level, and that raises their morale and allows you to replenish your energy on the go. But there's a cost to this. The PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safer for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side. Now let's return to that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water on the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city.
And of course, the consequences will never be 100% positive or negative.
But this in turn attracts the worst type of people to the area.
This tries to make you play the game twice, and in the game like Dying Light 2, if it's going to be as long as Dying Light 1 was, that's never going to happen. Like, there's just too much content to play it twice.
And by the way, this is just what happens in the day. At night, well, things tend to get a lot darker.
Yeah, I kind of would like to see him walk out in a slacks and a button-up shirt. They don't need a tie.
You've gotten soft.
They don't need a coat.
Complacent.
But I would like to see
always
them
knew this day would come.
dress up
always knew
and
the
try to
three
be
of you would be needed
more
again.
professional, because there is kind of a
always-
lack of professional.
What?
There's a lack of professionality in the video game industry. Is this really Battletoads? It is. So is this Battletoads 3?
A brand new game featuring body morphing genre mashups, 3-player couch co-op, 4K hand-drawn 2.5D graphics, and broad, non-specific feature declarations. They're back.
World premiere.
I was born to fight wars that no army could win.
126.
There was no fear.
Is this the...
But the rules have changed.
What it was, a state, not state of decay, it was...
And no one was ready for it.
I forgot the name of this one that was leaked from Avalanche.
They are the world's most powerful private army.
Could be the Cartel,
They should
but that's
fear
not
what
the
they
game that was
created.
leaked.
This isn't a war, Rico. This is survival. It's telling you to pre-order at the bottom. You don't even know the name of the game. So the things are out of order. Unless it said the name at the bottom.
Want me getting shot at? Only time.
Could be State of Emergency? No, that's not the name of it. It's a 2-word name of name. Just Cause 4, that's it. That's 2 words and one
World
number.
premiere.
That one was leaked, so that was obvious. So there were supposed to be 3 Gears of Wars games. Question is, of those 3, which of them are actual Gears of War games and not side projects? And the fact that we're seeing a Marcus Phoenix in Funko Pop characters tells me this is probably a side project. Gears Pop.
From the Coalition, please welcome Studio Head Rod Ferguson.
Funko Pop's certainly getting all the licenses. I don't even know why anybody likes those.
When I began my Gears of War journey, we had no idea how big this franchise would become. And as it's grown, we've dreamed of taking it to new places and different ways to reach even more fans. And that's why today we're announcing Gears Pop, a collaboration with our friends at Funko to bring a unique
Is it a mobile
spin
game?
to the world of Gears. And mobile is not the only new place we're going.
Yeah, it is,
Excited
no
to
duh.
also announce a true Gears of War PC experience in a completely different genre, Gears Tactics. You create a whole new squad.
So instead of Halo Tactics, it's now Gears Tactics.
Monster Maker responsible for destroying whole cities. It's our take on the classic turn-based strategy genre with a character-driven story.
Looks like
faster,
XCOM.
more aggressive gameplay, a customizable squad and equipment, and of course, it wouldn't be a Gears game without a massive boss battle.
I love how they
We look forward
half
to
the
sharing
time
more
will
about tactics with you soon.
zoom out to the
it's not just about
far
going to new
crowd
places.
shots
It's also about
when they're
having
showing
new experiences.
footage, and
The
should
amazing
just have
team at the
that on the
Coalition is
screen.
working hard to bring
And
you our
it's
most
probably a
ambitious
trick
Gears of War
because the
title yet,
graphics probably don't
Gears
look
5.
that good. So
As Kate, you'll journey across the biggest and most beautiful world we've ever created, with the war for humanity escalates on two fronts, outside the capital city and within Kate herself. In this moment from the game, Kate leads a rescue mission to a remote village, but something goes horribly wrong.
So, I'm not sure Marcus Phoenix, who I think that's the name of the main character in the Gears of War series. I don't think I made it past even the first game. Just got busy. I don't think he survived the end of the Gears of War 4. So, either you do all prequels in Gears 5 or you introduce a new character. Which I think you'd be better to introduce a new character because Marcus Phoenix was kind of a lunkhead dude bro character that just wouldn't play well all these years later.
Kate? I'm sorry.
Thanks for coming here.
Of course. Can I recommend we maybe get these people out of here?
Hey, just slow down.
No, Foz is right. We need to move.
What are you talking? He's dead, man. Give her a minute.
She'll get her minute in the Raven.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Del, we need to leave.
I'm not going.
Excuse me?
For months now, I've been having these dreams. Nightmares.
Is that Marcus and
But I think they were
to the right?
messages. Something's happening to me.
It's your grandmother's?
Enough. We'll deal with this later. Foz, round these people up.
I need help.
There's a place up north. I think we can find you answers there.
No, no. Absolutely not. We have orders.
You'll go with me.
So, kind of the story, although it wasn't ever played well as far as I could tell with Gears of War, is the fallen people and just a very, very high cost of warfare in this universe.
Screw your order. This isn't about you. It's about me. I need to fix this.
There's a bunch of story elements here that
watch her.
Doesn't really feel like Gears of War.
Necklace? That's a locust symbol.
Yes, so?
She would never be our enemy by choice. I know that.
Because she would die for us.
I know that. But what if it's not her choice?
So the thought there is that the locusts are controlling her, which is probably the case.
Back to where it all began.
I don't think we needed a wind sailing element programmed into a game. So, Gears of War was about mainly using a chainsaw gun, which I'm not saying, and the active reload system, I think it was called, where you hit reload and then hit another button to get a faster reload and extra bullets or something, or extra damage. I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing playing as a female character who seems to be a little bit less less
What did you come here with?
tank-like.
What did JD tell you?
And she doesn't have that big old chainsaw gun. So in name only, it feels like it's a Gears game. It really feels more along the line of like a Resident Evil game where you're just shooting zombies, except for you're fighting a locust, which is not inherently a bad idea. It's just that's probably not what the hardcore fans of Gears of War, if there are any, want.
Gaming is now at its most vibrant.
Like, it feels a lot like Halo 4 in the sense that Halo 4 was not Master Chief. Gears 5 feels like that, where it's not going to be it's not going to be Marcus Phoenix that you're playing as.
Ever have before. 50 games, 18 titles with exclusivity, and 15
they win an hour and 35
premieres.
minutes. And I don't think any of these Gears games are close to being finished.
Portfolio in every measure.
I don't think that would have been the showstopper. Why not move those around? Why not start with Gears and end with Halo?
Scope and creative vision. And every one of these plays best on Xbox.
I guess maybe Halo Infinite is not anywhere as close to being finished as Gears is, which is probably true. The Halo 5 was just pre-rendered footage. This looks like actual gameplay cutscenes.
In this significant
Gears 5
moment,
did.
We are constantly challenging ourselves. Where can we take gaming next?
It's really strange that they had that
We commit
accessibility
and harness
controller,
the full breadth of our resources at Microsoft
and
to
then
deliver on the future
they
of
didn't
play.
mention it. It's just on the
Our
on the
experts
stage.
in Microsoft Research are developing the future of gaming AI. So the worlds and characters we enjoy will be even more rich and more immersive. Our cloud engineers are
Frankly, I
building a
think this
game
is a really
streaming
dumb
network
idea.
to unlock
I don't want
quality gaming on any device.
Genius AI in games that is outthinking me. I want games that have gameplay mechanics and NPCs that are predictable.
Your PC,
But then he's saying they're using artificial intelligence mostly to make it playable on cell phones, which I don't.
With Xbox One
Not
X.
gonna happen. You can stream to your cell phone,
the next Xbox
like the
console,
Steam Link app.
where we will once again deliver on our commitment to set
They're
the
already
benchmark
talking
for
about the
console
next
gaming.
Xbox
And
console,
let's talk about our games themselves.
which they probably should.
We are committed
They can't
to
really do
building an
anything else.
industry-leading
They can't make another
first-party
pro
studios
Xbox One X version.
And as you saw earlier, we are making one of our greatest
And they
single-year
probably want to
investments
release
in teams
their console
by
right
adding
at the same
5
time as the
new
PlayStation
creative
5
studios.
comes out.
We have committed our team, our company, our technical resources, so we can declare to you today and next year and all of the years after that, you will always
I need to
experience
look
the best
here
in
and see
gaming
when Bethesda
on
stream
Xbox.
starts. Hopefully it gives me at least enough time to
Choose the games you want
refill
to play.
my drinks.
There are worlds to be saved, heroes to be made, and legends to become. Together. Thanks, and have a great Easter.
Oh no, somebody's hacked it. Somebody's taken it over. Is this a new Death Stranding? Like last year, they either accidentally or intentionally. Wow, is that a bunch of Steam keys? To quickly pause the screen and enter those Steam keys and you'll probably get something. Like, last year they accidentally showed a folder. And announced some stuff. And now they're playing that up.
2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America.
So,
main issues: sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line
this
than
is
anywhere else.
almost certainly, I guess it's Cyberpunk 2077.
It's all true, but everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion, but it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going.
The problem with Cyberpunk 2077 is we don't know what the game really is. We haven't seen enough of it, so we're seeing some more now, but all we're seeing is kind of cutscenes.
And I'm a big dreamer.
And so it might be very pretty and very interesting looking, but with the exception of a consistency of it having guns, we don't know anything about it. This one, at the very least, is a very visually different looking game, so it's not going to fall in the mix of a large number of other bland looking first person shooters, if it is a first person shooter. There is also a problem if it is a first person shooter coming from CD Projekt Red, because they don't have any real experience making that. Yeah, I think if I'm doing the time right here, Bethesda's stream starts at 8:30 Central Time, or 6:30 Pacific Time, or 9:30 Eastern Time. So that gives everybody a nice break. That's probably a good move. I'm going to not schedule Bethesda's stream because the truth of the matter is it's not getting announced by YouTube. YouTube's not announcing videos for my channel at all anymore. So I'll just go live and hopefully an announcement will come out there. I've already forgotten about Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out to Xbox. Like, this conference, arguably so long now, an hour and 42 minutes into it, I've forgotten about several of the first things that came and that were announced. Ooh. This is definitely hype. Getting the hype up there. Very good conference. Very, very good. Now all they have to do is deliver. And that's all that I guess they need to do. That's gonna be it for the Microsoft press conference. It just kind of ends there. Was apparently going to show Shadow of the Tomb Raider at the E3 conference, and Just Cause 4 and Captain Spirit and the other Wilds. It seems like there's several games that they're going to show on Twitch, but I'm going to end it here. I don't need to stream and comment over that. I'll be back for the Bethesda stream. If anybody's watching, thank you for watching. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me with YouTube, allegedly at least. If you subscribe, click the notification bell so maybe you'll get notifications. Remember, I stream Hearthstone and talk about video game news every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I have several pre-recorded full playthroughs of games, full criticisms and reviews of games that air on my channel. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below to Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Google+, lots of different services. Let me know in the comments if there's a service I'm not on. And if you want to support me, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and either gift me a game or a gift card. The Steam Summer Sale is about to happen. That would be a great time for people to give games to me. Or if you don't want to look at my wish list and pick something, or just pick something in general, send me a gift card, and that helps too. That's the only monetization policy I have right now. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.
Well,